that he represented the issues of the Indian people over there. And that was the time he was also trying to engage himself with the Indian revolutionaries, there. Indian revolutionaries there. So he was particularly disturbed by the Indian revolutionaries who had formed their own associations in England. For example, Lotus and Dagger was one of the important associations formed by Indian students who are now concluding that revolution was the only method, violence was the only method. So Gandhi was deeply, deeply disturbed by this trend. Secondly, now he was also disturbed by the materialistic wealth and the materialistic prosperity that the West, particularly England, has gained, did not have the core values into that. What were the core values? Core values of ethical standing. Ethics and morality are very important. So he thought that whatever the wealth that was, created by the British by plundering or whatever the means that they followed, all stood on unethical methods, unethical, practices. So therefore, he developed a very, very critical attitude towards the materialist, materialist, aspect of the British economy. For him, the basic value is the morality, ethics. So he was opposed to this materialistic, prosperity of the, Britain, and particularly the scientific revolution that started happening at the end of the 18th century and which spilled over to the 19th century, created altogether a new class of people in the world. These were the big industrial houses. These were the big industries. But these big houses, industrial houses, or the big industries, they became rich, but not on the basis of the morality or the ethical values. They followed all kinds of means to attain this prosperity. So therefore, his main critique was that this prosperity, whatever the prosperity that they were trying to acquire, or the wealth that they were trying to acquire by various means, dubious and illegal and unethical means, were not acceptable to him. So therefore, when he was coming back from England to back to South Africa on the board, a ship, he wrote Hind Swaraj. Originally, he wrote that in Gujarati language, his mother tongue. Mother tongue is too comfortable for any individual. So he wrote that in Gujarati, and it was published in 1909, and it was banned by the British. Probably because the intelligence agencies must have told the British government that this book was creating fissures and perhaps might result in a revolt against the British. So therefore, fearing that it might create a revolt against the British, they banned it. Now Gandhi, he got it. He helped and got it translated into English. And interestingly, the English version was not banned by the British government. They banned the Gujarati version, but they never banned the English version. Now, what does this work contain? It's a very huge discussion. I'm trying to narrow it down, terribly narrow it down. It contains 20 chapters. There are each chapter on one particular theme, starting from on the Congress, on partition of Bengal, on the Western materialism, and that way it goes on. And so this book is very, very essential. If you read this book, perhaps you would understand Gandhi. And here there are two characters in that particular work. One is the editor, the other one is the reader, as I told you in the beginning. So this editor and reader, in one sense, Gandhi is the editor, and the masses that he is encountering with are the readers. In one sense, you can take that, but also in another sense, little deeper sense, that you can take both editor and the reader as the Gandhi himself. So there are two Gandhis. One who is trying to seek something, the other Gandhi who is trying to give away to this what is being sought. So therefore, the editor and the reader, if you see the kind of dialogue that they develop in the course of that work, you can take in two different senses. One as the editor as the Gandhi, and the mass that he is encountering or the dealing with is the reader. And another level, it is a dialogue within himself, within Gandhi himself. So therefore, the Hind Swaraj is a very, very important thing that you need to understand. And lastly, because of the time issue, couple of things that I would share, and probably I would end. Now, when you see the political leaders of India, most of them, they did not deviate from their political discourse. In other words, their main concern was achieving freedom for India. Gandhi, did he not believe in that? He did believe in that. Certainly he believed in that. But the difference between other leaders and Gandhi was that Gandhi was also trying to bring in social reform as an essential ingredient into the political discourse. Now, Gandhi was a man who was totally opposed to this caste system. He was totally opposed to this caste system. In the Indian society, the caste system is the vertical thing. It is not a horizontal phenomenon. It's a vertical phenomenon in the sense, the moment if someone says that I belong to this caste, the person who listens to that either forms that I'm equal to him or superior to him or inferior to him, or I'm at the lower level. So the very nature of the caste is that it is always understood in the vertical relationship, not on the horizontal relationship. So Varna for Gandhi, it was the division of labor, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and nothing but the division of the labor. But then in reality, from the Varna, when caste system emerged, so then the problem started, and Gandhi was totally opposed to this. For Gandhi, Sanatana Dharma was an ideal. It was too good. Everyone on the equal plane, everyone on the equal footing. But next stages in history, over a period of time, many efforts were made to bring in institutional characteristics to this religion that vitiated the entire social fabric of India. This is what the Gandhian understanding of the Indian social history, that Sanatana Dharma was fine for Gandhi. But then subsequently, there were many other developments which vitiated the entire social atmosphere, and Gandhi was totally in disregard to this. To give you an example, he had come down to Karnataka as many as 21 times to different parts of Karnataka. Gandhi's one issue is that yes, nobody has toured as much Gandhi has toured the country. You go to any part of India, you would see people telling that Gandhi had come down to this school, Gandhi had come down to this village. So that way you would see Gandhi was more encapsulating in the sense of space. So when he had come down to Udupi, there is one place called Ajjarakadu. He was invited to visit the temple. Then Gandhi asked the people whether scheduled caste or the Asprusha, untouchable communities have been allowed to this temple. They said no, they are not allowed into this temple. Then I don't want to come. I don't visit. So the temple where untouchable communities are not allowed, I will certainly never enter into those temples. So this is the kind of philosophy that Gandhi had. And secondly, as far as women were concerned, if women are found today in the huge public space, it is thankfully because of various these influences. And Gandhi also believed that women should come out of their domestic space to the public space. And you would see so many women co-workers associated with Gandhi, Sarojini Naidu. I can name hundreds of them. Okay, so here Gandhi also encouraged that women should take up the public responsibility. So therefore, Gandhi, he was trying to integrate both social reform and political independence as the common target of every individual. So that way, uh, bringing both social platform and the political platform, and making it as a unified force to fight for the Swaraj. Swaraj is not necessarily from the outside force. Swaraj from within also he was advocating. So it is in that sense we need to understand Gandhi. If you reduce Gandhi only to the empirical details that he based, 1917 Kheda Satyagraha, 1918 Ahmedabad, and what's that? Uh, Oh, I'm sorry, 1918 Bardoli, 1917 Bardoli, 18 Ahmedabad and Kheda. So these satyagrahas are the passive resistances that he led. And later he, led this Khilafat movement, followed by non-cooperation. And then this salt satyagraha in 1930, that's one of the major, issues. And 1942 Quit India movement. But in between there was also another movement called the Harijan movement. From when Pune Pact was signed in 1932 between Gandhi and Ambedkar, it was a time that Gandhi tried to address the issue of the untouchable communities, very aggressively. So 1933 he started Harijan Sevak Sangha. Ambedkar was a member of that for 1 year, and later he resigned and came out. That's another issue. And 1936, and onwards, this issue became very, very central to the Gandhian mode of action. So there are lots of things, but I'm sorry, I'm not able to synthesize everything within this time frame. But this is the broader framework that we need to understand Gandhi. I wish I was in a physical class so that we could have interacted much more meaningfully. Okay, I again thank the college management and my fraternity in the history, and you students, because you are the future of this country. And I tell you the statement of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, please note, once he said, every generation is a new nation. Now you are the new nation for India. Thank you.